As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, and its Centers of Excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, in association with the African Asian Rural Development Organization, ORDO, New Delhi, organize this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today is 93rd edition of the webinar series, 24th September 2022. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency the Secretary General ORDO, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome our chief guest of today's webinar, Mr. B.M. Kumar, to talk on the topic application of artificial intelligence, AI, and digitization in agriculture and animal husbandry. I wish to inform the participants and the speakers that the university regularly conducts two webinar series, namely National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture, and on every Thursday, and International Webinar Series on Open Source Digital Technologies towards Self-Reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Under this international webinar series, the university has conducted so far 92 lectures on various important topics, namely open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure, a roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat, open source software and industrial IoTs for SMEs, free and open source software adoption and business models, technology imperatives make in India for self-reliance, open data platform for smart digital government, edge artificial intelligence, data governance for self-reliant India, Digital India transforming governance and society, India's email citizen@indiamail.com in 22 constitutionally recognized languages, eco-architecture for digital transformation, education system cyber critical infrastructure, seizing opportunities in open innovation, and value creation network in the digital world for self-reliant economy, ensuring food safety and compliance through technology. Digital India, urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India. Technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investment. Entrepreneurship and skill development, AI design pathways. The rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance. The era of automation, industrial robotics and industry 4.0, Indo-German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis and opportunities. Role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research. Digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective. Health informatics network value chain, e-health system and beyond. Leveraging emerging technologies for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food value chain. Unleash the power of citizen development for enterprise software development. E-governance models towards sustained quality services to citizen backed by technology. Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities, urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program. Building public digital platform using microservices and APIs. Health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning. Health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, clinical artificial intelligence, an interface between machine learning and health informatics to be made operational in every primary health center, both in public health and animal health. Health informatics network value chain, importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency. G filter, gravity filter, a simple low-cost solution to the drinking water treatment in rural India. Open source GovTech startups empowering growth with automation. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. National Digital Twin Program, need for a robust geospatial infrastructure. Industry 4.0 in MSMEs, benefits of indigenously developed CollabCAD software from National Informatics Center. Mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. Cyber security, risk, challenges and solutions, intelligence approach to reduce cyber risk. New Internet IPv6 root server toward Atmanirbhar Connected Bharat. Indian startups, reflections and possible policy intervention needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. Blockchain and crypto for digital assets platform, pathways for global trade. Robot as a service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. Space startups connecting to international market with emerging business models. Emerging technologies for future vision. Vivekananda Secondary Education and Skill Development Mega Project, its potential impact on rural entrepreneurship and the rural economy in India. Sports Grail, a digital sports media platform, and prospects of Indian sports industry sustainability model at global level. Pharma 4.0, Industry 4.0 applications to pharmaceutical manufacturing, path to a digital transformation. Accelerate and scale non-linear growth through partner ecosystem. Technological renaissance and the capital and the human capital, a perspective. Health informatics network value chain, medical outreach, challenges and potential. Beyond COVID-19, revitalizing micro and small enterprises. Project management essential. Launchpad for future CEOs and startups founder. Society 5.0, a new society beyond Industry 4.0 and post COVID-19. Smart village oblique community and the African ICT oblique IoT lesson. Digital economy, ways and means to protect and empower for self-reliance. Pragmatic ways for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Democratization of essential services by using sustainable energy as a catalyst. Transforming India through relevant education and vocational training. Digital technology in simplifying citizen life. Online learning during the pandemic and its future. Smart microeconomic zones, pathway for self-reliance at village level. Crime prediction support systems, knowledge management for development partnership to achieve the sustainable development goals of the UN and implementing the Agenda 2030. Millet value chain from IoT to blockchain, a traceability roadmap. Aspirational district program in left-wing extremism affected district, a successful model of data-driven governance. Digital agriculture supply chain and trading hub, a geo-economic perspective. Market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. An open agri network to unlock the $1 billion plus potential of Indian agriculture with smallholder farmers. Developing rural entrepreneurship to ensure developing rural entrepreneurship to ensure doubling of farmers' income, leveraging the power of convergence through connecting the dots, agri startups, agripreneurs, and rural innovators. Agronomy plus AI is equal to precision farming, doubling farmers' income, imperatives of plant health informatics network, developing commercial breadfruit value chain to help farmers reach high value markets. Developing commodity value chain creation through agri network and agri AI. Farm to plate, a one-stop agri-tech platform to simplify supply chain and e-governance needs of food and perishable commodities. Health informatics network value chain, National Animal Disease Reporting System, NADRS 2012 and beyond. AI and metaverse, frontiers in workspace. Coconut value chain challenges transforming into opportunities. Coffee Informatics Network Value Chain, facilitating smallholder coffee farmers into business. Health Informatics Network Value Chain, building of One Health ecosystem, role of digital architecture. Diversification of fish and fisheries resources management, sorry, and its challenges in Bangladesh. Data mining on digital agriculture. Drone technology ecosystem, empowering smallholder farmers in India. Fisheries Informatics Network Value Chain business plan for fisheries cooperatives to attract investors. Making urbanization work for the poor through new technologies. Disruptive technology in precision agriculture. Strategy for total development of local area Todola with ICT. Digital economy, ways and means to protect the empower for self-reliance. Sustainability frameworks and standards for agriculture commodities global experience. We Mill, a social business initiative for rural women. Today is the 93rd edition of this very important webinar series. We'll have the talk by Mr. B.M. Kumar, co-founder and CEO, DrPashu Technologies, Bengaluru, on a very important topic, application of AI and digitization in agriculture and animal husbandry. Dear participants, India is said to be a land of villages. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said India is largely an agriculture country and a country of villages having more than 6.25 lakh villages. It employs more than 50% of India's workforce and contributes almost 18% of its GDP. Climate change has both direct and indirect effects on agriculture productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. Indian farmers are facing multidimensional problems: price fluctuation, debt, lack of infrastructure, and weather. Indian farming community comprises of about 14.5 crore operational holdings, of which 85% farmers have small and marginal size operational holdings. They need timely, location-specific, personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. Many national level programs, be it Digital India 2015, Make in India 2015, Skill India 2015, Startup India 2015, Stand Up India 2015, have faced operational difficulties for its impact at farm level and farmer level, and that too at small and marginal farmers. But now Make in India programs are making inroads through drone applications for helping in agricultural sector. I would like to quote Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi said at the 7th Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog held on 7th August 2022. He said in his opening address, he stressed the need to focus on modernized agriculture, animal husbandry, and food processing to become self-sufficient and global leader in the agricultural sector. In his closing remark, he said, I quote, each state should focus on promoting trade, tourism, and technology via every Indian mission around the world. State must focus on reducing imports, increasing exports, and identifying opportunities thereof. I would like to quote some recommendations from the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report 2018 on digitalization of agricultural systems. I was closely associated as a subgroup leader for Volume 11, and Volume 12B. Volume 12B talks about digital technology in agriculture. It suggests 7 mission mode programs, namely digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture, synergization of Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India programs for transformational reforms in agriculture sector, smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions, digitalized agricultural resources information system, and micro-level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming. Digitalized value chain for about 400 agriculture commodities. Digitalized access to inputs technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers. Digitalized integrated land and water management system per drop more crop, and digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This itself is $1 trillion data economy. It means that to have an integrated view using GIS technology of farmer health, that is public health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, fish health, and environment health. And this report also talks about that networking of cooperative societies and digitalization of cooperative societies to make the farmers who are all the members of primary agriculture cooperative society, dairy cooperative societies, and fisheries cooperative societies as a value chain. Now and Atmanirbhar Bharat is the road ahead. It is the mission of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, and based on 5 pillars: quantum jump in economy, infrastructure, one that represents modern India, system 21st century technology driven, vibrant demography, and a demand whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. Digital India program aims to transform India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitally empowered society. Ministry of Information Technology launched a National E-Governance Plan (NEGP) in 2005 and a National E-Governance Plan 2004 to National E-Governance Plan 2.0 E-Granti in 2014. And before that, District Information System of NIC District was initiated by the Government of India through National Informatics Center in 1987 and undertook 28 sectoral database development sectors in the area of agriculture, livestock, fisheries, irrigation, health, education, etc., etc., and operationalized during 1980s in about 520 districts in India. District Program 1987 has been the front runner of the present day e-governance program of India. I was the project director of the district program in 1987. E-governance initiative in India took a broader dimension in the mid 1990s for wider sectoral application with emphasis on citizen-centric services. For example, digital networks for farmers, an informatics blueprint for improving agricultural productivity and sustainable rural livelihoods was envisaged through the National Conference on Informatics for Sustainable Agriculture Development, May 1995. It is called ISDA 95, which brought out AgrisNet, AgmarkNet, SeedNet, HeartNet, Animal Production and Health Informatics Network, Fisheries Informatics Network, and so on and so forth. Digital India aims to provide much needed thrust to 9 pillars of the growth area: broadband highways, universal access to mobile connectivity, public internet access program, e-governance, reforming government through technology, e-granti, electronic delivery of services, information for all, electronic manufacturing, IT for jobs, and early harvest programs. Each of these areas is a complex programs and in itself and cuts across multiple ministries and departments. Today's topic is one such thing. On 20th February 2019, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology published a report titled India's $1 trillion Digital Economy Opportunity in association with the McKinsey and Company, and this report has identified 30 digital themes. If scaled up nationally, can accelerate India's progress in 9 key areas. We witness digital ecosystem, which are essential for digital transformation in the digital world. But in India, we have an ecosystem. It is Industry 4.0, Agriculture 4.0, and Society 4.0. And Industry 4.0 has come from Germany. Society 5.0 has come from Japan. And India has to provide to the whole world Agriculture 4.0. And we have Amrit Kaul led up to 100. Now 25 years of perspective plan to lead India to become a new India by 2047. And to facilitate that, which has got a blueprint and a very big, priorities. PM Kadi Shakti, inclusive development, productivity enhancement in investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition and climate action, and financing of investment. On 21st September 2022, Government of India has launched a very big program, National Logistic Policy, having a development of unified logistic interface platform. It means that it has India has made up its mind to make India as a global factory. And I also would like to quote the Prime Minister's historic Independence Day speech, 15th August 2022. He said, Panch Pran of Amrit Kal, goal of developed India, remove any trace of colonial mindset, take pride in our roots, unity, sense of duty among the citizens. We have 17 sustainable development goals and 160 and 169 targets to be achieved to achieve the planet which want, the future we want. Application of AI and digitization in agriculture and animal husbandry. Application of artificial intelligence for livestock and poultry farming monitoring. Dr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, in his article on 1st July 2019, he talks, I quote, artificial intelligence is the future of the livestock farming. Businessmen looking to invest in the livestock industry have noted the increased spending power of the consumers and their willingness to pay a premium in order to have fresh and hygienic livestock products like milk delivered to their doorsteps. As a result, it is expected that there will be an investment made in the sector, which will aid the introduction of technological advancement both in logistic and farm management. Artificial intelligence is one such technology which needs immediate implementation in the livestock industry. AI technology has been successfully adopted by several industries, and now it is set to revolutionize the farming with the drones, robots, and intelligent monitoring systems. AI promises precision livestock farming. If farmers cannot interpret the data and use it to take action, the data is useless. This is where artificial intelligence and machine learning and deep learning comes to our hand. Subish and Mehta, in their article in 2021, which provides an overview of recent research in the area of digital technology driven agriculture and identification of the most prominent application in the field of agriculture engineering using artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. The potential application of IoT and AI in the development of smart farm machinery, irrigation systems, weed and pest control, fertilizer application, greenhouse cultivation, storage structures, drones for plant protection, crop health monitoring, etc., are discussed in this paper. In most of the countries where the expansion of cropland is merely impossible, agriculture automation has become the only option and is the need of the hour. When it comes to digitization and automation in agriculture, IoT and AI play a key role in every phase of farming activities during the pre-harvest and post-harvest operations. And artificial intelligence, Internet of Things are contributing significantly in the area of modern agriculture by controlling and automating farming activities. Challenge in the adoption of digitization lies in the security part. The local networks have to be secured against interference from other networks as the approach is fully data driven. AI enabled products and IoT enabled products are becoming cost effective and robust. Their widespread adoption in the agriculture field is inevitable. National e-governance plan in agriculture, which started in 2010 and 2011, which started with the 7 states. Now it has been expanded to all the states in the country. Role of digital and AI technologies in Indian agriculture. Niti Aayog has come out with a national strategy for artificial intelligence. and it identifies agriculture as one of the focus area. Key trends in AI, namely machine learning and deep learning and computer vision learning, will provide tools to agribusiness to support the development and delivery of timely and targeted information and services to make farming profitable. But it also talks about challenges in agriculture, what can be AI enabled and what cannot be AI enabled. And this strategy also covers major area of digital technology applications and AI enabled solutions in financing, farm inputs, farming and selling and distribution. AI for agriculture innovation. AI for AI, artificial intelligence for agriculture innovation. And the goal is to establish a framework through which emerging technology solutions can be scaled up across the agriculture ecosystem. World Economic Forum Center in August 2020, it has brought out a framework in which emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, IoT, and blockchain and drones, further enabled by unlocking key data sets, offer an unprecedented and unparalleled opportunity to boost the efficiency and effectiveness of agriculture production systems. And PwC and FICCI reports 2022 talks about redefining agriculture through artificial intelligence, predicting the unpredictable, and says cutting edge technologies like AI, such as IoT, machine learning, cloud computing, statistical computing, deep learning, virtual reality, and augmented reality are enabling the agriculture sector to overcome the challenges of productivity. It also identifies the AI application along the agriculture value chain. And artificial intelligence is a new tool for agriculture now. At least 7 of the 17 sustainable development goals are directly linked to agriculture activity. Development goal number 1, end poverty. Number 2, zero hunger. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. Goal 13, climate action. And goal 14, aquatic life. And goal 15, life on the land. And this 7 of the 17 sustainable development goals are related to agriculture, wherein artificial intelligence is enabled technologies are very essential. And innovation in agriculture emerges as a crucial priority and an essential component of post-COVID-19 recovery. Connecting remote rural areas remains one of the top priorities, and global stakeholders need to leverage every tool to make existing farming and livestock activities more efficient and sustainable. Crop, soil, and livestock monitoring, detection of pests and diseases, weather and temperature forecasting, predictive analytics, autonomous agricultural robots, and farm equipment. As per the synopsis of the guest speaker, there is no doubt that the agriculture sector needs to be technologically upgraded to ensure sustainable supply to the country and the world. One of the main challenges facing small-scale farmers is lack of access to information, knowledge, and financial resources. Solving this will certainly require capturing the right data on a timely basis using smarter technologies and digitization. Digital technologies such as machine learning, big data, analytics, mobile internet, cloud computing is critical to address these challenges because they are scalable and quick. These technologies allow us to design systems that are able to predict trends much more accurately. AI is being used to find patterns in this data, which a human cannot. Practical application of AI in agriculture are vast and diverse. From intelligent spraying, produce sorting to animal disease prediction, the list goes on and goes on. Computer vision can be used for sorting produce like apples and oranges based on their quality or size. It is also used for detecting animal disease such as mad cow disease or foot and mouth disease. With this background, let us now turn to the address of our guest speaker, Mr. B.M. Kumar, co-founder and CEO, DrPashu Technology, Bengaluru, on the topic application of AI in digitization in agriculture and animal husbandry. Today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over telecast through facebook.com oblique Shobhit University India or youtube.com oblique Shobhit University in or linkedin.com oblique company oblique Shobhit dash university for synergizing missions like Digital India, Make in India, Sagarmala, Skill India, Startup India at a village level, and also to establish 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups, one for each Gram Panchayat in the country. Let us unlock opportunities in India at the earliest. Let me introduce the speaker to the audience. Mr. Manish. Mr. Kumar is a technology and growth marketeer with over 19 years of work experience in B2B and B2C companies, oblique startups in marketing, head of marketing, lead generation, growth hacking, product management, and sales and account management, partnership, deal negotiation. Kumar has worked with corporate organizations like Airtel, Tech Mahindra, ETI Salat UAE, and Jumpo Electronics, and with the startups like Ashil Technology, Cybersecurity, and Reverie Language Technologies. He completed MBA, PGDM from IIM Ahmedabad after graduating as an electronics engineer from Sardar Vallabhbhai National Institute of Technology, erstwhile REC Surat. Mr. Kumar believes that technology can provide a significant leverage to impact people's life positively. In his spare time, he likes doing yoga and watching TV series. With this, I would like to request Mr. Kumar to address international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on a very important topic, application of AI and digitalization in agriculture and animal husbandry. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone, and thanks a lot, Professor Moni, for that detailed introduction on the agricultural sector in general. And I will be mostly focusing on the role of technology, specifically AI and digitization in agriculture and animal husbandry. So I'll share my screen and start. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you can go to the first one. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you? Yeah. I'll start.
Start, please.
Yeah, this is already. Yeah, this is already in the stream. So yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and so I'm Kumar BM, as Professor Moni said. I'm the co-founder and CEO of DrPashu Technologies. I have also with me Mr. Nikhil Gupta, who's the co-founder and CTO. So I will quickly start the presentation. So this is, we'll start with an introduction and briefly talk about the challenges in agriculture and some of the mega trends that are impacting agriculture and how technology innovations can solve these. And then we'll talk about animal husbandry and how DrPashu is also trying to make an impact on this industry. So, DrPashu app is an app that provides livestock farmers with 24 by 7 access to AI powered veterinarians. This happens through instant video calls. The key thing is that the farmer can connect to a doctor who speaks the same language that the farmer is comfortable with and get a prescription immediately. There is no waiting, and a prescription gets shared on the app itself. And by taking timely and quick action, the farmer can save lives of their livestock animals. So I'm Kumar. I have worked in sales and marketing roles for over 20 years. Mr. Nikhil is the CTO of our company, and he is from MIT US and IIT BHU. He has over 25 years experience in the software and product development field. And our third partner is a vet, Dr. Suresh Damodaran, who has done masters and bachelor's in veterinary science from Madras Veterinary College. right? So let's directly jump into the key challenges of agriculture, right? So, Professor Moni kind of did mention a number of these, and the key problem in India right now is that the land holding is becoming smaller and smaller with every generation of farmers. This is because of inheritance from the father to the sons, and then it further gets keeps getting split further. This leads to a lot of inefficiencies while farming and processing and storage, which leads to lower income for the farmers. Also, this creates a problem of not being able to use a lot of automated farm equipments. Right? The other problem is the health of the soil itself is deteriorating significantly. This is mainly because of too much use of pesticides and chemicals, plus the kind of deforestation and overgrazing that is happening, which leads to soil erosion every time there is heavy rain or wind. There is also increased flooding in a lot of areas, and increased industrialization is further causing problems to the soil health around. Every year, we hear about stubble being burnt in the northern part of India, which leads to not only soil damage but also a lot of air pollution around Delhi. One of the key factors is that there is a lot of unpredictability in the agricultural sector. The crop depends a lot on rainfall, temperature, humidity, and so on. And given that the groundwater and as well as surface water has been depleted in a lot of areas, there is no other alternative if there is a shortfall in the rainfall, right? And there is always a chance of unpredicted pest attacks, diseases, and weeds coming up and damaging the crop significantly. And there is hardly any pricing power that a farmer has. He has to be dependent on the market pricing because he does not have much options of storing the produce in a safe way on transporting it to the right market. There is also continuous increase in input costs and labor prices because people are moving from villages to cities and there is less labor available in the rural areas. Thus, it's a very risky business because of so many factors. And these are just some of the factors that I talked about. This is not even uh, like a comprehensive list. There are so many other factors that can go wrong, right? So, moving on to the mega trends that are impacting agriculture, these are some of the key mega trends that are impacting agriculture, especially it's predicted that the world population will reach close to 10 billion by 2050. Now, what does that mean for a food production? It means that we are going to produce about 70% more food than what is currently being produced because there's not just a growth in population, but also the consumption is expected to increase on a per capita basis. There's I already mentioned urbanization, where more and more people are moving towards cities and urban areas for a better quality of life, thus putting more pressure on the urban centers and leading to less manpower being available in the rural areas. New technologies, this is we will be covering this in quite a detail in the upcoming slides, right? Again, from a social point of view, there are a lot of changes in the expectations of people because now people are more focusing on clear, pure and organic products. They are now aware of the health risks of eating food with chemicals, and now they are expecting more organic or pure food. And due to climate change, the weather conditions which were much more predictable say a 50 or 100 years back has become even more unpredictable now. And this leads to sudden rains or sudden increase in temperatures which cause significant damage to the crops. In terms of the globalized trade, now it's now the production happens in one country, and then many times the processing happens in some other country, and this is expected to grow as more and more companies open up their trade. And in terms of biotechnology, there are a lot of progresses happening. We'll talk a bit about gene editing and genetically modified foods. While they have their pluses in terms of improving the taste or softness of a vegetable, there are also other health concerns that come up with these kind of technologies, and so on, right? So, how can we solve some of these mega trends that are impacting the agricultural or the food system? McKinsey has come up with the 12 transformative technologies that will be impacting that can help in solving some of these problems. And these are those 12 technologies. These are based on a lot of research that they have done with agricultural companies, innovative startups, academicians, research companies, and so on. So I'll quickly talk about some of these and then move on to the digital and AI based technologies. The first one is alternative proteins. I think many of you will be aware that now there is a possibility of growing meat in a lab. So there are companies in US and even they're coming picking up in India where the meat is grown in a lab and burgers are made using lab grown meat, right? So, so these proteins are very useful for people in developing countries where there is a shortfall of protein and the cost of buying milk or meat could be higher. We are expecting that these alternative proteins will bring down the cost of producing these proteins significantly. And it's not only about the cost, it also reduces the impact on the nature and the ecology, because these proteins take much lesser cost much lower greenhouse emissions and other pesticides and insecticides to be created. So these are more eco-friendly and also safe. Like as more and more companies get into this, the safety of these kind of meat and milk products will improve and they will become more and more safer. Then the second technology that McKinsey has listed is food sensing technologies. Now there are a number of companies that are working on using infrared or near infrared rays to track and detect food that is getting spoiled versus the food that is good. Now, how does this help in avoiding food wastage? You can always identify the food which is closer to getting damaged or getting spoiled and try and sell it off fast earlier at a discount or in a better package, so that it gets consumed at the right time before it gets spoiled. So this itself can significantly improve the food requirement that is needed by 2050, because as per current estimates, almost 30 to 40% of the food gets wasted. Whatever food we are producing globally, out of that, close to 30 to 40% food is simply getting wasted because of lack of storage and because of lack of availability of the right price, which is such a bad situation to be in, because it takes a huge amount of effort from the farmers to produce that. Plus, it takes a lot of natural resources, water, and soil and so on to produce that. So it's a shame that so much of food is getting wasted, and so these technologies will be able to prevent a lot of that food wastage. Then the third one they have identified is nutrigenetics for personalized nutrition. Now, based on the specific genetic profile of a person, there can be diet plans which can be personalized. So as of now, you would be seeing that you will get a diet plan if you go to visit a nutritionist. You will get a generic diet plan that if you are a male, you should eat so much of calories, so much of protein. If you are a female, you will have a different kind of calorie requirements and so on. But again, it's not very effective because those are based on some general rules. This, after nutrigenetics becomes more common, and some companies are already in USA which offer these services where they take a sample of your DNA, blood or hair, and then they analyze your genetic material and figure out what kind of food is the best for you. So that will help in underweight people becoming normal weight. And similarly, if the overweight people start using this kind of a personalized diet plan, there is a good chance that they will have a much lower or an optimum weight. This itself will lead to significant impact on the health industry as well, where so many billions of dollars are spent on diseases like diabetes, obesity, stress, and so on. So this is a key technology that is expected to impact the food system. The now these are the next few are all related to digital and AI based technologies, where uh, it starts with big data and advanced analytics for insurance. So right now most of the farmers are not covered by any kind of insurance, and as we saw earlier that there is a huge uncertainty related to farming income, right? So this kind of big data analysis, along with proper analytics, can help insurance companies to come up with cheaper plans that will enable most farmers to afford this, and they will be covered by insurance, and that will be a great step for helping the farmers to grow their income or double the income that our prime minister has set a target for. Mobile service delivery is the next one, which is already kind of working in a number of countries. We'll see some examples as well in the upcoming slides, where mobile is being used as a key technology to deliver information about agricultural prices. It could be about any kind of disease alerts. It can be about getting the any alerts on weather related events and so on. So mobile is a tool which is available with most farmers. Most of them do not have computers or laptops. However, mobile is a much more pervasive device now, and using this it becomes possible for us to reach the farmers. In fact, mobile is being used for making payments and so via UPI and these technologies, right? Moving on to blockchain based traceability. So like we saw in the mega trend, that people want to know where their food originated from. Is it pure? Where was it grown? Is it organic actually or not, right? So this is where a technology called blockchain comes into picture, which helps them to track the complete history of where a particular fruit was produced, how it was transported, and how did it reach their house. So the complete tracking will be possible using blockchain, and these are tamper-proof technology, and hence people will believe these technologies more. So you will be rest assured that the apple or the fruit that you are eating is from the place that it mentions. So this is a key technology that is supposed to help people believe in the quality of food. Moving on to IoT for supply chain. So IoT is another key as a key technology that will help the food system, because IoT it consists of lot of small sensors. These are all connected to each other, and they track the a lot of data. So every hour or every 10 minutes, these can send automated data to a nearby receiving station, and that receiving station can uh, transmit it to the cloud. And once that data comes into cloud, uh, all this data is consolidated and then used for this the big data and advanced analytics that we talked about here. And this will help the farmers to take a lot of critical decision on in terms of what kind of crops to sow, what kind of pricing to sell it for, and so on. So once this data is tracked and analyzed, it's like a gold mine of data available for the farmers to take decisions on. Right now, moving on to the next category of improving the production systems. So precision agriculture is one of the most important technology changes that is happening in agriculture. What does precision agriculture mean? Basically, it means that we use a lot of data sets to accurately and pointedly go and uh, water the plants or remove the weeds or use pesticides only on the weeds and pests rather than on the whole field. Currently, the farmer just buys the uh, fertilizer or the pesticide and then they throw it across the farm because they are not able to do it on a targeted basis. However, using technologies like either drones or autonomous vehicles which can move across the farm, farmers will be able to use these items and they will automatically go and identify the weed and then be able to just apply the required pesticide or insecticide to only that particular item. And then there are some of these other biotech based technologies like gene editing, biological based crop protection, and microbiome technologies which are again expected to improve the quality of the produce as well as the yield of the crops. I'll not go into much detail on this because these are more related to the biological sciences. And and then there is a renewable energy and storage because a lot of areas do not have proper electric supply. However, off grid renewable energy generation and storage can make sure that the farmers have access to electricity whenever they need it, even if they are like thousands of kilometers away from the nearest big city. So this is an important aspect that will help the farmer in getting access to electricity whenever required. Right? Now, a little bit of definition on what is artificial intelligence. Of course, I'm not going to go into the technical definition of artificial intelligence. I would rather go with a simple a day-to-day used definition which talks about what is artificial intelligence. So when a machine can mimic the human intelligence and behave as if it is understanding a problem and taking action, that is what we call as an artificial intelligence. So a machine that can mimic human behavior, right? So we are all using these on a regular basis nowadays. Most of you or all of you would have used Google Maps. So whenever you want to go from point A to point B, you just enter those starting and the end point on your map, and it calculates automatically the best route possible based on the time of the day and so many factors. So this is an example of using artificial intelligence where it is using thousands of data points of historical as well as the recent data points and predicting what could be the best route for you, right? Similarly, most of you would have used voice recognition on your phones, be it Siri or Alexa. Initially, when these technologies came up, there were a lot of problems where different accents they were not able to understand. But as more and more training data became available, this voice recognition has become much more accurate now and quite easy to use. So you just tell your Amazon device to order something, and it can order a phone from Amazon, right? And the third example is recommendation engines. Whenever you go for any purchase on these websites like Amazon or Flipkart, based on your previous buying history, these suggest products to you, and many times these are like very accurate, and you end up buying them. So this is the third example of AI, which we most people are using on a daily basis. So why is it that we feel AI it's that the right time that to apply AI in agriculture? Of course, the earlier the better it would have been. However, in India especially, the mobile data coverage was not very good in rural areas. But in the last 4 5 years, the pricing from Geo has been very aggressive. They have expanded the coverage, and following that, a lot of other telecom operators like Airtel, Vodafone, all of them have also improved their services and reduced their data package prices. What has happened because of this is that now farmers have access to good quality data network as well as an affordable data package. So most lot of farmers are now using smartphones and having access to apps, which was not possible even say 5 years back. The other key factor that has happened in the last 2 years is COVID, and most of you would have seen that. For example, my parents were not used to ordering stuff online, like through Flipkart or Amazon or other sources. But during COVID, they were kind of forced to move into digital technologies, and now they have started ordering things from Amazon and other digital places, where it becomes much more comfortable and useful. So earlier they wanted to go out, talk to the nearby vendor, and buy vegetables and other stuff. But now after COVID, they are used to also take using digital and online solutions as one option. Before this, they were not even willing to experiment that, but COVID forced that behavior change. So that is a key reason why digital technologies have picked up significantly in the last 2 years. And the third reason is obviously as more tech awareness spreads across rural customers, they are more open to trying out these apps. And even in case of our app, Dr. Pashu app, we do see that more and more farmers are now, open to consulting the doctors through online video calls, which may not have been possible even say 3 or 2 years back before COVID. So this is the global AI market in agriculture. Currently, it's somewhere around a few. This is like actually a projection of a few years back, where it is expected to grow significantly by over 20% year on year and reach more than $790 million by 2023. So there is a significant increase, and what we suspect is that it will in fact accelerate and grow even faster in the next 5 to 10 years. And these are some of the applications which are using AI, and we'll talk more about these in the coming slides. Yeah, so these are these are some of the possible technologies on a farm. This is like a nice visual representation of that. So let's start with the fleet of Agribot. So it's expected that there will be small autonomous machines that will be tending to the crops. They will be weeding and killing the weeds. They will be even able to harvest those crops once they are ready, and all this will be done automatically without human intervention. And like we talked about precision agriculture, they will be so accurate that they will be able to identify just the weed or the pest and target and spray the insecticide only on that pest. So this will save a lot of cost. For more than 95 or 99% of the cost of insecticide and fertilizer can be saved, which leads to a lot of cost reduction for the farmers. Then we'll talk about the survey drone. So these aerial drones can easily survey the farm and check whether there is any kind of weed that is coming up, or there is some kind of a disease that a crop is getting. And the survey is much easier, especially because it can fly over the field and cover a large area in a much shorter period of time, compared to a human being who may still be missing some of the spots. So the way these survey drones work is that they use computer vision to look at the crop from a distance, and then if they suspect there is some kind of an infestation, they can go near that and then do further study if required. So it uses computer vision and the drone technology to identify any kind of possible diseases of the plants or even animals in a much better and efficient way. Coming to the farming data, we did talk about a lot of sensors and sensors that are that can be used in both the animal husbandry side as well as the agriculture side. These could be things like measuring temperature of the near the plant. It could be the soil humidity. It could be the chemical composition of the soil. And on the animal side, this could track things like health of the cow or how much steps the cow has moved. Is it what is the possible period when the cow may go on heat and so on. So all this data is collected and shared with a receiver, and that then shares it to the cloud where a lot of analysis and analytics is possible, right? So I kind of talked about these cows. So these may have a sensor attached to each of these animals, cows or goats and so on, and it can track their health. And it will help in predicting any possible disease even before there are any visible signs of the disease. And this there could be smart tractors which can plan their route properly and do the farming in a much better way, the tilling and so on, and it can help farmers in avoiding or reducing fuel costs. Right? So this is a real life example of an application. Some of the like we talked about how phones are being used for delivering these services to farmers. So this is an app which is popular in Kenya. This is in fact an old app, almost 8 to 10 years old, and is now still going strong and increasing the kind of services that it provides. It's called iCow, and there is an option where people can just text or call a particular number and get information. So it gives you more reliable and verified agricultural information. It can tell the farmer about when the cow gestation period is. It can also help the farmer to find nearest vet and AI providers. Now AI in this context is artificial insemination providers and not artificial intelligence. And it helps in storing the records and so on. So it was also expanded into few other countries near Kenya, in Tanzania and so on, and it's been launched in various languages that the people there use. So this is a real life example of one disruptive technology. Let's move on to the bot. This is a weed killing autonomous robot by a company called Robotics. It can move automatically without any manual intervention and kill the weeds specifically for almost 12 hours. And it uses solar power to do this. Let me just play this video.
Look at you. Look at me. We are the perfect fit. Can you see our future? I am Avo. I am a smart weeder with a lot more to it. Your field is my campus. I navigate it with 100% autonomy. I go up. I go down. I am able to cover the entire surface assigned to me. I am flexible. I am light-footed. And I am reliable. I am tireless, powered by solar energy that gets me going, by day or by night. With my eyes fixed on the ground, I detect weeds and spray them without hitting your crops. I perform my art to perfection. You ask me what difference does it make? Up to 95% less herbicide used. Look at them. Look at me. I am fully autonomous. More precise, more efficient, more economical, more ecological. Your future is already here.
Yeah, so if some of you thought that these are technologies from the future, no, these are already on the ground, and these are like working technologies. Some of these are like being under trial and will further improve as more data comes in and more people start using that, right? So yeah, sorry, yeah. This is another important project by the World Bank Group for Agricultural Observatory. What this does is that there are, it collects data points from over 1.5 million virtual meteorological stations where it tracks things like the surface temperature, the wind speed, the humidity, the precipitation levels, and so on. And it is able to generate about 7 billion data points in every 6 hours. Now, this is a huge amount of data. And like we talked about, this like it is a combination of three different technologies where we collect a lot of data, and this is called like the big data, and we use artificial intelligence and machine learning to predict possible weather patterns which were not possible to predict even few years back. So this is a huge significant project by World Bank Group and the partners, and this helps the farmers to get much more uh, accurate accurate inputs on what kind of crops to sow, what will the weather be like in 2 to 3 months, and how to avoid any kind of problems by sowing the right crop. So these, like so there are in India alone there are over 1,000 agri-tech companies that are working currently, and these are just a sample of those some of the top recognized companies that are there in India and the world. And these are the various categories that these companies can be classified as. So we did talk about precision agriculture and predictive analytics. These are some of the companies. I won't go into the details of each company. I'll just highlight the different categories. Marketplaces. Now there are a number of companies which directly purchase food and milk and other such items from the farmer and bring it and deliver it quickly to the cities. So these are marketplaces where you can buy things or even rent some of these things. And we talked about how robotics and drones can help the farmers. We just saw a video where an autonomous robot was killing the weeds continuously for more than close to 12 hours. And many of these things do require a lot of sensors. The cost of sensors are coming down as more and more companies develop cheaper options, and this is only expected to grow up. And in fact, probably in a few years there will be more connected devices than the number of human beings that are there on this planet. So the IoT devices are expected to be more connected than the human beings, and so on. So smart irrigation and data analysis, and so animal data will move into the animal husbandry after in a few slides. And there are next generation farms where there are vertical farming being done because there is now lack of land, and people are now looking at options of how to grow more crops in a vertical way, right? So now we move on to some of the challenges in animal husbandry, and which is where Dr. Pashu is trying to make an impact. So every year in India, there are like thousands of crores of loss which happens in the animal husbandry sector while we talk of all these technologies, right? So there is a huge shortfall of vets in India. In India, there are only about 70,000 vets available. For a country of a size like India, this is less than half the requirement, right? And the interesting thing is that the same problem exists in developed countries also, like USA and UK, because now more and more people are taking interest in growing organic crops or farming themselves, and also more people are adopting pets. So all these animals require services of vets. in wherever vets are available, there also there is a problem because the vets are not able to reach these farmers at the right time, because these farms are 20, 30, 50 kilometers away from the town, and by the time the vet reaches them it takes time, because vet is also busy in their own clinic or other work, and traveling to the farm it takes like a few hours to reach there. Because of these delays there is always chances of the death of animal. And so also, like we spoke about, more new generation farmers are coming up and taking up farming, right? But they do not have the same traditional knowledge that their grandparents or their ancestors had, where they were able to address some of these diseases using traditional methods. These new generation farmers may not have all those awareness, and hence they depend on the vet more for these issues, which again puts additional pressure on the vet ecosystem. Right? And in many towns in India and probably in most of the developing countries, there are limited availability of items related to livestock. So things like medicines are not available at the right time, food supplements or other things like farming equipment and cages may not be also available. Plus, the pricing is also very, very unclear, right? So what happens is many farmers take up livestock farming thinking that it will give them a more steady income, because farming is risky and more dependent on the weather. But because of these uncertainties and these diseases, even making money on through animal husbandry, it becomes very, very difficult and unpredictable. So they end up in fact making losses if there is any such kind of a epidemic like bird flu or swine flu and so on. So the farmer suffers a double whammy. He not just has a risk of losing his crop, he also has a big risk of losing the animals. And this is like a even bigger loss, because once if the animal dies, then they whatever effort they took in growing the animal and taking care of the animal, it all goes for a waste. And in India, there are over 800 million chicken, almost 81 crores of chicken, and India is the largest, market for the exporting the meat of buffalo and so on. So over 65 million farmers are in doing livestock farming in India, 6.5 crore farmers, and this is also many more are doing this, millions more are doing this across the globe. And the size of these markets are huge. The cattle market, which is cow and buffalo, the dairy and livestock sector, is over $225 billion, and the poultry market is more than $23 billion, and just the veterinary market size is over $1 billion. And this veterinary market size, we believe, is like because of lack of supply of these vets. Ideally, the requirement is much more than this, and if we have more vets, definitely they will be able to serve the farmers in a better way, and the market size will be much bigger, right? So this is where now I'm going to explain how our app uses AI and these digital
Can you go to the
technologies to
previous
help the
slide? Can you
farmer.
go to the previous slide, Mr. Kumar? Previous slide?
Yeah,
No, okay,
yeah,
just one.
yeah.
Okay. Large market access India and world. Good.
Yeah. Shall I move ahead?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. So this is where our solution, Dr. Pashu app, which is already live on Google Play Store. So if you are interested, you can download that. Just search for DrPashu, Dr. Pashu, and you will be able to get this app. In this, the first stage is already live, where we are connecting the farmer with a veterinarian through an instant video call. There is no waiting. You just download the app, register yourself, and just call the vet. It's as simple as that. And the vet will then, you can choose the language that you want to speak, and then the vet at the other end will we'll connect you to the vet who can speak that language and who is an expert in the animal that you want to consult. So we are currently covering 6 animals: chicken, cow, buffalo, pig, goat, and sheep. So if, for example, you are calling from Gujarat and you are calling for cow, so we'll connect you to a doctor who speaks Gujarati and who is an expert in cow. So that's how the app works. It's quite easy, and we have made it visually easy for the farmer. Even those farmers who cannot read in English can see the visuals and easily use the app. Also, the app is available in 8 Indian languages, and we can easily add more languages as per the requirements of the particular government, state governments, or the cooperatives if required. Another key feature we have is vaccination reminders and weather warnings. So, based on the date of the birth of either the chicken or the buffalo, we give them alerts about the vaccination due dates and the type of vaccinations that they should do. And once it is completed, we track that. And all this is also used to predict the diseases in our AI health engine. So, what is AI health engine? AI health engine is where we are using, artificial intelligence and machine learning to predict possible diseases for these animals. The way it works is that the farmer or the doctor can select the symptoms of the animal and then take photos of the animal and submit to our app. Our app will use AI to predict the possible diseases, and this is based on using machine learning and a few algorithms that I will talk about in the next slide. And in the next step, we will add a marketplace where farmers can buy things like medicines and feed on from our marketplace. So we try to reduce animal mortality and improve the productivity of the animals. Definitely, a healthier animal will have better yield and a better quality of milk or eggs. So this is what we are trying to do. Our long-term vision is to become the Amazon plus Practo for all livestock farmers. We want to start with India and then also expand into other developing countries and even developed countries, depending on the response that we get. So this is the key innovation, the artificial intelligence that we were talking about. So as I mentioned, the farmer or the doctor can select the symptoms, then take photos of the diseased animal and submit it to our app. And uh, it will predict certain diseases and also give them some first aid steps that the farmer can do immediately. And then they can instantly call a doctor if the prediction is that it's a serious disease. They can immediately consult with the doctor on a video call and get the prescription on the app itself, and they can go and buy the medicines from the nearby store. And this timely action leads to better profit for the farmer, because a few hours of delay in case of smaller animals or a 1 day delay in case of animals like goat and sheep can lead to much higher mortality rates. Already in India, the poultry sector suffers mortality rate of 8 to 10% every year on average, which is quite high, but they are not able to reduce this easily. So these are some of the algorithms that we have built. Mr. Nikhil is leading this, and we are using naive-based algorithm and the convolutional neural network (CNN) algorithm for image processing. So the image that has diseased animal, it is processed using this algorithm. We have about 9,000 farmers who are using our app, and we are working with 4 companies on B2B projects, and we have collected about 5,000 plus training images. The key problem for any AI is that you need a lot of training data, and diseased animal data is not easily available in the country. In fact, we reached out to few universities outside India as well, and nobody has good quality training data for disease prediction for these animals. And hence we are now connecting the farmer with the vet, and in the process we are collecting these images and using them to train our AI. we also, the doctor can either agree with our diagnosis that the AI predicts, or they can have a different diagnosis. Whenever the doctor comes up with a different diagnosis for the disease compared to the AI, we then use that input to fine tune and improve the accuracy of our AI. So it's a work in progress, and it will keep improving. The accuracy will keep going up as we move ahead. These are some of the awards and mentorship programs that we have been selected and part of. We have received some grants from the government agencies of STPI, and also some another organization called NAVIC. We are part of razor pay rise and fasal programs, and few other like Man Wadhwani Foundation and 100x Entrepreneur. So all these have helped us with access to new clients, new markets, as well as mentorship and help with some funding. So recently, the CEO of McKinsey, Mr. Bob, mentioned that it's not just the decade of India, it's going to be the century of India. And I do believe that this is going to be true. However, this is not going to be possible without involving Indian agriculture into and upgrading it using these latest technologies, because over 50% of population in India is involved with agriculture, and we cannot work or become a superpower nation without helping 50% of our population. So technology is going to be a huge help in agriculture and animal husbandry sector. Like we saw some examples, these are just some small sample of what it can do. It's just about our imagination on how more we can use these technologies. So the Indian agriculture is at the beginning of a big digital transformation. This is just a small start, but we need to have all the stakeholders like farmers, agricultural companies, startups, R&D institutes, academic institutes like Shobhit University, the governments, all working together to make this, this a possible success. So we need to work together, and that is where we are kind of collaborating with all the universities and companies. And I definitely hope that this will become a true even within this decade. Thank you. So we can probably, you are on mute, Professor.
Slide before I capture, you have come out.
Okay, which one? This one?
Last. Well, thank you slide. So I should thank you that. So.
Oh, this one as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my contact details and number. We can now, if we still have the time, we can do a quick demo if Mr. Nikhil is also there.
Yeah, we have time. You can carry on.
Yeah. So if you can add Mr. Nikhil, he's the CTO of DrPashu Technologies. We can do a quick demo as well.
Mr. Manish.
Yeah, I can. Okay, it shows me that I'm in the show, but it doesn't give me an option to share my screen.
Okay, Mr. Manish, I'll request him. Mr. Manish is coming.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Manish, can you allow him?
Yes, sir. He is there, sir.
No, I know. Manish, I want to share my screen, boss.
So, sir, just click on the share.
Actually, I'm logged in from. Hold on, I'm logging in from the mobile because my demo is from mobile.
No, sir, from mobile you cannot share the screen, sir.
Achha. Oh, Chalo, koi nahi. We'll go to the questions then. In that case, no? Let's take some questions.
And we can correct. We can then move to some questions. Professor, you are on mute.
So thank you very much, Dr. Bashu. I think Mr. Kumar has got the name and his team as DrPashu within quotes. And it is, I'm very happy that today I am sitting with the experts who have really, brought in livestock informatics as a discipline. I have, like you have traveled a journey. I have traveled a journey from 1987 onwards, district information system on, livestock, animal husbandry, and so on and so forth. And now 95, I brought out an IT blueprint, 15 informatics network, which included animal production and health informatics network and fisheries informatics network. Then in 2010 to 2012, we brought out National Animal Disease Reporting System, connecting 7,032 locations in the country to monitor OIE listed disease. And and then it is after the Mumbai attack, 2611, I was at the time Deputy Director General NIC. We were able to digitalize all the fishing vessels of all coastal states and coastal union territories. So when the technology like artificial intelligence and big data analytics were not available, digitization in the agriculture sector was going on a planned activities involving National Informatics Center. I was the Agriculture Informatics Division and District Information Program from 87 onwards in a different manner. Now the time has come that COVID-19 has taught a big lesson. And that's the reason I agree with what the McKinsey chief says. India, this is not an India's decade, it is an India's century. And I know I have, as a former IITian, I did my MTech Computer Science from IIT Chennai 76-78 batch. And I joined National Informatics Center. And with the district informatics system program and then agricultural informatics, then I realized that bringing technology to rural India is very important. I thought that it's a godsend opportunity for me to work in this area. So I thought that systems centric, develop technology adoption is very important today. And then towards the end, that I was in, the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology. They have shown interest because they were become a deemed university in Western, they were located in Meerut, western part of Uttar Pradesh. They wanted to have IT in agriculture in a very big manner. This is the first university in the world working in agricultural informatics, and they have established 5 centers of excellence. And they invited me after my retirement as the Director General NIC to work with university. They invited me as a Professor Emeritus. Now I'm Professor Emeritus and Chairman of these 5 centers of excellence. And Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Government Research Studies is the first center in the whole world. You don't have even an IITs and NITs and even various deemed universities. We thought, and we also launched MTech in Agricultural Informatics program and BTech in Agricultural Informatics program and PG diploma and diploma. And even in 2010, I was invited by, it's a very big program in Banaras in the university. I was asked to put a lead paper, and that is that, that the need for livestock informatics. And it is very important. And agricultural informatics and livestock informatics is the need of the hour. I given, and that paper also I will send it to you. And that is in 2010, and now it is 2012. And then I thought that, as a former technocrat, former Director General NIC, and also that man who visualized agricultural informatics as a discipline in the country, and I thought that this is the era of India. And it has to, we have to make rural India has to shine, smile, and roar. That was the article. I wrote it in 2004. Today, when this our emblem gets into the Parliament building, and people start to say, how can our line can roar? Line will always roar.
And even my article in 2004, which is published in e-governance magazine, that rural India to shine, smile and roar, with the 5 programs which I launched. And then when I was associated with the doubling farmers' income, and I was asked to chair 2 subgroups, one is digital technology and agriculture, I was able to bring it all the experience from 1987 onwards, on which I had an opportunity to travel. And this is a 7 mission mode programs. If this can facilitate establishment of 1 agri-tech startup in every gram panchayat to help 14.5 crores. That's the reason only during the COVID situation, with the approval of the chancellor of the university, we started having 2 webinars every week. One is on national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022 to promote the 7 mission mode programs, to generate as many number of agri-tech startups in the country. And Niti Aayog has to wake up, Minister of Agriculture has to wake up, Department of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has to wake up with respect to this 7 mission mode programs in the digital technology and agriculture. It is the Government of India's task force, and this is popularly known as Dr. Ashok Dalwai Committee report. And then Saturday, in association with the ARDO, we started having international webinar series on open source digital technology. So I'm very happy that 94 and 93 is now pushing the whole country to get into the dominance. That is agriculture 4.0. And I'm very happy that the last slide you said it, that you quoted the chairman of the CEO of McKinsey, that this is a decade for India. It is a century for India, not the decade. And it is true. We can have with the 14.5 crore operational holders, and 85% of the operational holders are small and marginal farmer, we can do wonders to bring out agriculture 4.0. Mr. Kumar, I agree with you. All the points I have minuted, taken notes, and this demands a 6 months diploma program from the university in association with you to promote what you have achieved, what your group has achieved. And I'm also noted that an electronics engineer with is a management program, MBA from IIM, and another person who is on artificial intelligence, a man with AI network, AI dominant knowledge, and then an academician, a researcher from the one of the very leading veterinary university, Tamil Nadu Veterinary University, Dr. Suresh and Damodaran. And it is very important that that you 3 people have joined together. And also I liked your one. It is an initiative of that IIT, IIM, and NIT, and so on and so forth. And this is very important. And you brought it very nicely. And it is all your mega trends impacting agriculture sector. You brought it in a very nutshell form. I felt very happy. And also you brought out that the McKinsey's transformative 12, and it is a big quotes that transformative 12. It's very important. That's only motivated me that why can't we join together to have a diploma program to train the rural students from these centers of excellence, 5 centers of excellence. We have Center for Health Informatics to have an integrated approach. We have a Center for Industry 4.0. We have a Center for Informatics and e-governance, Center for Agribusiness Management, and Center for Agricultural Informatics. These 5 centers and the associated schools or faculties of the university and DrPashu technologies can do wonders in the country. And you have touched all the important points and in a very professional manner. And the thing is that this is a very important address which you have done it. That is that digitalization and AI in agriculture and animal husbandry. And it is an important thing that that you brought out not only the trend, not only what is existing, and you also done a complete data value chain. Not only livestock value chain, you are also brought to data value chain. Where do we stand? And you are also able to demonstrate your app and in what stage you are. And this is where India is standing. That's why I said it, an ecosystem. When Japan can give society 5.0, when German can give industry 4.0, why can't India give to the whole world agriculture 4.0? That is a journey which I have taken it up. And if every professors in the country started doing what Soviet University is doing it on a weekly basis, interacting with the industries, interacting with the startups, interacting with our NRIs, interacting with the NGOs, I think our policymakers, should see with open eye and open ear, because they wanted to achieve open access and open data, but their eyes and ears should be open, and that is more important. And this is what today's talk is very important. I'm very happy about it. And I think Mr. Nikhil connectivity is not stable. He comes and gets delayed, and if he's able to join, I would like to hear from him what motivated him to get into this, AI enabled software design. Mr. Nikhil, can you join and talk?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's check.
Yeah, he's joined. Mr. Nikhil, can you join and tell that what made you to get into this initiative, and what is, how AI is making a strong intro in livestock informatics?
I would rather have questions from audience. If you have anything from audience.
No, the thing is
no,
that
sir, there is
video,
no question, sir.
No question has come, and
Okay.
but this video, this talk will have a progressive view by research scholars, NGOs, startups, and policymakers. The link goes to the Ministry of Agriculture.
So basically, to answer your question, we went into this area because of two reasons.
Can you put your video on? Can you put your video on? Let it get into. Okay, fine.
Sure. So the first reason was that we wanted to make an impact in the agri-tech domain. In fact, as you pointed out, Dr. Suresh is there, and then we have one more mutual friend who has been working exclusively in this domain of farming. And based on inputs from him, we basically decided to get into this area. Number two, our initiative has this whole AI machine learning aspect, because we wanted to do something technology, see how technology can help the farmers. So this is like a self-service that we want to do. Means a farmer who wants to understand the disease, that his animal may be having, he can actually do almost 70 to 80% work on his own. And only for the last leg, the person has to contact or talk to actually veterinarian. So the idea is that, to reach out to farms who are in remote areas, who don't have access to veterinaries, or who don't have access to the latest medicines, we hope that our app can bridge that gap.
Very nice very nice. And I also said it that, it is a quite impressive work you have done it. I have been looking for in the entire journey that, this has to be achieved. And today, I'm very happy that there is an, startup who have really got into this activity and were able to, demonstrate it. Mr. Kumar talked about iCow. In 2013, when I was sponsored by the CTA of Netherlands to participate in an international conference at Kigali in Rwanda, and they demonstrated the iCow, and that time 2013. And I was quite impressed on that time. And today I'm also very happy that you are able to reiterate the importance of that iCow app, which is making a lot of inroads in Africa. It's very important. And this is today you are able to give a lot of background, and this will attract a lot of startups even to get associated with your technology, because the country needs, every gram panchayat has to promote DrPashu technology. You rightly said it, that people are not getting into livestock insurance, and people are our veterinarians, we have a limited number of veterinarians. We need to about have another 430 veterinary colleges. And somebody said it in another the same webinar series. They said that India needs about more than 450 veterinary colleges. So this is important. And you brought out almost all the issues, the need, and how technology can help, and how technology can help to summarize it. That the mega trends which you talked about, it gives all the base: growing population, and urbanization, societal change, climatic change, globalized trade, biotechnology, and integrated value chain. See, poultry value chain is a very successful value chain after dairy value chain. But even though it is more risky than dairy, and they have done it. And if export has to take place, we also talked about very clearly that because of the traceability issues, that the lot of loss takes place, that, and also integrate regulations. And I quite and then you also said about that the three categories the McKinsey has come out with: transformative technology, changing the shape of demand, and prompting the value chain linkages, and then creating effective productive systems. I think even the 12 areas where you put it, it needs a 1 month certification program. We can bring out a 12-month certification program in association with the DrPashu technology for rural students to get into this. And we can promote and make it as an internship, to understand DrPashu technology, to take it to the ground level. So and you can even associate McKinsey as a corporate sector MNC to join with us, because they should not stop with only recommendation. This report has to be taken into operationalization. And that's how this centers of excellence of the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, this can be easily promoted to ORDO countries, because that's why this webinar series is in association with ORDO. ORDO is African Asian Rural Development Organization, very important institution, 31 member countries. So we can promote this certification program very effectively. And he also said it very layman's language, how artificial intelligence is being utilized by everybody on a day-to-day basis. And then how post-COVID-19 has made to open to digitalization and online solution, increasing technology awareness across the rural customers. And global AI market in agriculture is phenomenal. And advanced technology on farm is very important. You also said it that by technology in agriculture, digital technology in agriculture, and agriculture productivity can be increased by 70% by 2050. Why can't we achieve it? Why can't we have agricultural informatics as a very important discipline in the country? 4 years agriculture science and 4 years computer science compressed into 4 years agricultural informatics at the BTech level, MTech level. And I will also forward the programs to you so that you can also promote and bring it out in a very effective manner. And then it's and I also talked about disruptive technology in agriculture, and more than 100 companies or agri-tech companies in the country. I have been propagating the country needs 2.25 lakh agri-tech startup. 1 lakh primary agriculture societies have to be converted as agri-tech startups. 22,000 primary
So
fisher cooperative
it's more
societies.
than, yeah, it's more than 1,000 actually, but those that report highlighted about the top 100
Yeah. So, but the India
across the world.
needs 14.5 crore operational holders. We have 2.25 lakh gram panchayat, at least one per each gram panchayat, 2.25 lakh gram panchayat. We need
Right.
agri-tech startups, and then we have 1 lakh primary agriculture cooperative society. Each one needs to be supported by agri-tech startup. Today, they give loan and waive loan. That's all. There is no agriculture value chain. 22,000 primary fisher cooperative society. And this is also perishable commodity. And this also needs to go for total agri-tech startups. And then more than 1.5 lakh cooperative society. And every village has to have a cooperative society to promote dairy development. It means that 6.25 lakh villages. So each village has to have a dairy cooperative society. And then you also come out with the categorization of corporate these agri-tech startup. This will give a lot of value to the people who would like to get into it. You say that farm management software. You also talked about precision agriculture and predictive analytics. You also talked about marketplaces. A lot of startups are in marketplaces, robotics and drones, sensors, and then plant data analysis, and then smart irrigation, and then animal data. When I introduced Animal Production and Health Informatics Network, I presented it to Veterinary Council of India in 2000. First proposal. Fisheries Informatics, I put up to the ministry in 2000, January 1st. And AgriSnet with the 10,000 terminals in 2000. Now, these are all some of the early exercise which I put it, and I'm very happy today. At that time, technology was not available. And today, I'm very happy that people like you, and I am at the age of 70, still I'm walking with the hope. And the youngsters like you can get into the India as an agriculture 4.0, 5.0 technology providers to the whole world. And next,
Sure.
and another startups are next generation farms. And
Sure.
Mr. Kumar,
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr.
Thanks a
Nikhil
lot. Yeah.
Gupta, and Professor Suresh Damodaram, I thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Let us work together. Let us join together to promote any technology certification programs and the livestock informatics program. Train the rural students in agricultural informatics, livestock informatics in a very effective manner. Thank you very much.
Sure.
I would like to hear from you, your final words, and then I will close the webinar and leave the studio. Over to you.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Professor, for this opportunity, firstly. And we got a chance to share about overall how technology can help, at least our perspective of how technology will evolve, and specifically AI and digital technologies in agriculture. And we look forward to discussing with you on how to take it forward. So thanks a lot once again, and hope all the viewers had learned something new about the different technologies, and we hope to work with you soon.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. With this, I thank Mr. Kumar, Mr. Nikhil Gupta, and Professor Suresh, Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency, Secretary General Ordo, faculty members, Honorable Vice Chancellor, and the participants for participating in this program. And thank you very much. And let us, learn a lot of things from this webinar series, and also participate in the webinar series with your new ideas. Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, through its centers of excellence, provide all the platforms for all the startups and NGOs to promote their technology, to motivate rural students to get into technology, digital technology in agriculture. Over to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. We'll